Cheers, boys. Here's to recap of the final week of regular season, week 13. Here's to you. So we'll, as our usual customary standard of starting with the highest scoring team of the week, we got Travis battling out Joe, with Travis pulling off a 127 points to Joe's 104 points, with Travis having pretty well-rounded point totals. Cam Newton 24, Le'Veon 25, Alex Collins 21, Dez with 12, had 13 out of D, 13 out of kicker. So good overall effort. Joe, yours was not as well-rounded. You had Carson Wentz 19, Tyreek Hill going off 34, Packers D 15. After that, it was slim pickings. Melvin Gordon had 9, and Jimmy Graham had 8. So those were your best totals after that. And had some points on the bench, but nothing that's to write home about. So good win for Travis. Tough loss for Joe. So let's move to next highest scoring team was myself at 120 versus John with 73. Thanks for not showing up in the final week of the season, John. I appreciate that. And had left some points on the bench, definitely. Had Kirk Cousins 16, Alvin Kamara, MVP of my team, 24 points, Keenan Allen 18 points, Travis Kelce 21, Chargers 11, kicker 11. So good effort overall. Had Alex Smith go ape shit on my bench for 41 points. Had Rex Burkhead go off with 21 points on my bench. So a couple rough ones right there. Then we had Tom Brady shit the bed, 8 points. Carlos Hyde shit the bed, 6 points. Mark Ingram, 17. DeAndre Hopkins, 8. Eric Decker, 2. Marquise Lee, 14. 6 out of your tight end, 4 out of your defense, and 8 out of your kicker. And not much really on your bench. You didn't really give up that much. So outstanding victory for me. John, unfortunately, you've been banished to the pit of misery. Dilly dilly. Where you will vie it out over the 3 weeks of the playoffs for the number 1 pick for next year. So, next highest scoring team, we had can't believe I'm about to do this again. Nate, 111 points to Winston, 73. At this point, Winston, pretty sure, is just mailing it in. So Nate had 30 points out of Russell Wilson, 20 points out of Jamal Williams. Antonio Brown had 18, Robbie Anderson had 12. Again, had another guy with 0 points, tight end. Raiders D, 8. Greg Zerline, 16. Had the Rams D on your bench for 21. Cameron Brate on your bench for 15. So you left some points on the bench. Winston, Case Keenum, 21. Marshawn Lynch, 21. McCaffrey, 10. And Delaney Walker, 12. And then after that, it was pretty much nothing. So, and your bench did absolutely nothing too. All right, so Nate, you made a miraculous turnaround. So you have made the playoffs. Not that it'll last. You'll Nate it up somehow. So, good win, Nate. Winston, tough season. You will be playing John for the number 1 pick. Then we had DC versus Miller. This one I was closely watching as it impacted the final standings. Had DC 106 to Miller's 59. DC, Phillip Rivers, good day, 20 points. Running backs, meh. Had combined 15 out of Fitzy. Then 2 receivers with 9 total points. But then Gronk had 16, Ravens D had 15, and Justin Tucker had 17. So good overall day, just not quite good enough. Did you really leave? He didn't really leave anything on the bench. I mean, not that much. Miller, of all the times for your team to not show up, this was the worst week to do it. Matt Stafford 13, Gurley 15, Devin Funchess with 12, and that about sums it up. Everybody else, your kicker was your next highest with 6, and everybody else didn't score more than 4 points. So not a good week for you, and not a good week for you to do this. So BC, good win. Miller, tough loss. And last but not least, a game that had some playoff implications, but ended up not needing it. We're between Chuck and Craig. Chuck taking it down 89-83. With Dak going off 18, Alfred Morris 20, Leonard Fournette 13. Landry and Diggs combined for 9 points, so that wasn't great. 13 out of Thomas. Jaguars D 12. So you put up enough points to get the win and secure a playoff position. Craig, you had Drew Brees 16. AJ Green 19, and your defense with 13, and your kicker with 9. After that, it was not a very good day. And you had Nelson Aguilar on your bench for 22 and Mike Wallace for 13, but yeah, who's going to start those guys? Winston said, good win, Chuck. You got into the playoffs. Craig, you're still in the playoffs even with the loss. So congratulations for making the playoffs. So finally, we get to the final standings of the year. Drum roll, please. Boom, your boy comes out on top. That's right. Suck it, bitches. Give me that regular season champ money. Oh, and by the way, most points money too. So, yeah. What about that? All y'all. But anyway, yes, thanks to DC winning and me throwing up more points than him, I'm the regular season champ, along with the most points for award, thanks to the scoring of my kicker on Monday night. So yes, it came down, that's how far it came down to, Monday night. It all came down to it. Kicker getting me for the win. So, final standings were myself 8-5 with 1242 points for. DC 8-5, 1232 points for. Travis 8-5, 1187 points for. Grandpa Fantasy, which I barely eked out thanks to you, team shitting the bed. You finished at 7-6 with 1235 points for. Nate actually came in 5th, 7-6 with 1232 points for. Joe in 6th at 1195 points for. Chuck 7th, 1154 points for. Craig 8th with 1099 points for. John 9th, 1156 points for. And Winston, not surprisingly, last with only 973 points for. So it's a tough year for Winston. Cheers, boys. Here's to the sweet taste of victory. And here's to first week of the playoffs. So let's transition over to the playoff bracket. Let's see. If this will load. There we go. So we have Craig versus myself in the 1 versus 8 seed. Right now it has me projected 94 to Craig's 89. In the 2 versus 7, you have DC versus Chuck. Right now Chuck is projected 88 to 80. In the 3-6 matchup, you have Travis versus Joe. Joe's projected 95-91, and that's a rematch of the final week of the season. And lastly, you have 4 versus 5 with Miller versus Nate. Right now, Miller's projected at 96 to Nate's 80. And not to leave out the last 2 teams. You have John battling Winston for the number 1 pick with right now John projected 90 to 79 over Winston in the first round of the playoffs. All right, boys. So, cheers. Here's to a great regular season. Came down to the last weekend. Came down to the last game. Ended up every point counted this year. So, congrats to me. Taking down some big money already. And here's to keeping it rolling. Good luck to everybody except Craig, because I'm playing you. So I hope your team just, the bus explodes on the way to the stadium or something. And I win easily. All right. Cheers, boys. See you in the playoffs.